Hey, good morning. It is 4:30 a.m. and that's because I'm about to head home to Michigan for the holidays. And before I went home for Christmas, I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on for the last couple days. So thank you so much for checking out my first ever YouTube video. If you don't know me, you may recognize me by my voice, and that's because I'm DJLemay2 from TikTok. You typically see me making ice cream cakes, but for the holidays, I made a gingerbread house. Not really a house though, it's kind of a skyscraper. And make sure you stick to the end of the video and give me a thumbs up because I'm gonna flip this guy upside down. Thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas. Since we're making an indestructible tower that's gonna be flipped upside down, our first step is to make some good old cement, aka royal frosting. Royal frosting consists of three things: egg whites, cream of tartar, and powdered sugar. We're gonna blend that all together until it's nice and creamy. Once it's all nice and creamy, it's time to have some fun. I'm sure you've seen people make trees for their gingerbread houses, and that's what we're gonna do first. The first method is a fun way to make pine trees. A lot of people do it. And then the second method is gonna be really fun. I think I came up with it in high school, but you use pretzel rods. The first step for your pine trees is to separate out some frosting and add some green food coloring. I added some red to mine just so that the color wasn't so bright and it looked a little bit more natural. Once you've decided on your green frosting, you want to get out some ice cream cones. I use these little sugar cones, but this is a very common practice of how to make a pine tree. So you need to fill a piping bag with your green frosting, and then I used a 21 tip, and then you just pipe little stars all the way around the bottom, all the way up to the top, and then you have a pine tree. For the other trees, you use pretzel sticks. If you use different brands, they come different sizes, so you can have a little bit more fun with them, or you can just break them. You can just assemble them by gluing them together with royal frosting, or if you want to be really extra, you can take pretzel rods and drill holes in them and then stick the sticks in them. I've done that before too. It's a lot of fun, but you need a drill. You're probably wondering why I'm using graham crackers instead of gingerbread, and that's because back in high school, that's what we used, and I wanted to compete against myself. Trying to convert graham crackers into a skyscraper is a little tricky, so I had to play around with it for a little while until I figured out which direction I wanted the crackers to go and how I wanted to glue them all together. This part was fun but tricky, so I just had to lay them all out and make sure they're lined up, which doesn't work out well because graham crackers aren't perfect shapes. So I just kind of went with it and then covered the cracks with a royal frosting just to cement them all together. Once they were all covered, I took my little fractured pieces of graham cracker, put those in the cracks, and smoothed out more royal frosting on them because I want my walls to be indestructible. Once our royal frosting cement hardened on the walls, it was time to stick them together. I did 2 at a time, and then I was going to put them all together once they were hardened. While I'm waiting for that to harden, I'm going to lay out 3 graham crackers and then begin to cut them to make the roof. The roof for this is definitely going to be the most tricky part because it's modeled after a skyscraper in downtown Detroit. The roof is the most unique part about the building, and that's what makes it stand out, so I have to make sure I nail that part and get it right. Thankfully, geometry was always my favorite math class, and so I'm pretty good at cutting triangles, and so I think I kind of figured this part out, but it definitely took some mental gymnastics. Not only did I choose to use graham crackers for nostalgia's sake, I also did it for you. Baking gingerbread can be a daunting task, so most people just go with a kit from the store. And those are boring because you don't have much creative freedom. You get to do whatever they kind of give you. But with graham crackers, the freedom is endless. You can do whatever you want to do, like make a giant skyscraper from the Detroit skyline. The key, though, is to make your own royal frosting, because without it, the graham crackers are just going to fall apart everywhere. And then if you stick to the end, you'll get to see how strong royal frosting really is, because you should be able to flip your gingerbread house over at the end, and it should be fine. I've done it before. Let's do it again. The key is just making sure that your frosting is really dry, just like I did with all these pieces. Now it's time to assemble the signature roof. I got the first triangle on, and now let's add the other 2. This side is going to get 1 triangle, and then I'm going to have to put little triangles on the side to make a roof like that. Looking back now, they should have been a little bit more pointy, but it's okay. It still looks like it's supposed to. I was beginning to run out of time, and so I had to just quickly put all my lines on. I couldn't take time to make them all look perfect. This would have been so much easier if I would have just made the roof flat, but I'm thankful I took the time to make it look like something from the Detroit skyline. Now let's add our ice cream cone pine trees and then our pretzel deciduous trees. I made this one by taking a pretzel rod and then sticking pretzel sticks in it, and then this one is pretzel sticks all glued together. and so that they were 2D, and then I glued those together to make it 3D. Alright, you're here, you stuck to the end, so you know what that means. It is time. We are going to flip this boy upside down. This is not gonna go well. Alright, I'm gonna flip it like this, and then we'll see how this goes. Yeah, well, I mean, it did stay together, just not to the board, so that's cool. No. Well. Okay, well. The roof broke a little bit, but for the most part, it did stay upside down. So, you tell me, did I do it or did I not do it? It's still together for the most part. But I have to hurry up and clean this up because I'm supposed to go hop on a plane.